Hey y'all, welcome to Friday's Kitchen. Welcome back if you have been here before. In today's video, we are making this amazing strawberry crunch, strawberry cream cheese pound cake. If you're interested in seeing how I made it, stay tuned. Also, while you're here, please take a moment, look down below, press that red subscribe button, join the family, come back for some more recipes. It would really mean a lot. Without further ado, let's get into this video. Here we have our ingredients for the cake. Up first, we have 3 cups of cake flour, 1/2 teaspoon of baking powder, a pinch of sea salt, and a 3-ounce package of strawberry gelatin. Everything has been mixed in together. Here we have 3 cups of granulated sugar, 6 eggs at room temperature. We'll be using 2 tablespoons of vanilla extract. We have an 8-ounce package of cream cheese at room temperature, 3 sticks of unsalted butter at room temperature, and we have just under 1/2 cup of fresh strawberry puree. We are going to begin by preheating our oven to 300 degrees. Here are the ingredients for the strawberry crunch. I used 20 of the golden Oreos, remove the filling. We have 2 bowls. In each bowl we have 1/4 cup of all-purpose flour. We'll be using a 3-ounce package of vanilla pudding, as well as a 3-ounce package of strawberry gelatin. We also have a stick of softened unsalted butter. We're going to split that in half, put half in one bowl and the other half in the other bowl. All right, let's get started with the pound cake. We are going to begin by adding the 3 sticks of butter and 8-ounce package of cream cheese to the mixer. We're going to turn that on and get that mixed in a bit. Once everything starts to combine, we're going to go ahead and add the granulated sugar to the mixture. That will be coming up soon. Now that we have mixed the butter and cream cheese for a bit, we're going to go ahead and add the granulated sugar to the mixture. Once we get all the sugar in, we're going to let this mix anywhere from 5 to 10 minutes until everything becomes well incorporated. It starts to lighten in color and becomes nice and fluffy. Now that that's been mixing for a while, we are now going to add our 2 tablespoons of vanilla extract to the mixture. We are going to turn the mixer back on now, and we will mix until the vanilla extract is well incorporated with the other ingredients. Now that everything is mixed in well, we're going to go ahead, turn the mixer off, and scrape down the sides of the bowl so we can get all the mixture that is stuck on the side and the bottom. Okay, so we've turned the mixer back on, and now we are going to begin to add our eggs one at a time. Once you add an egg, make sure you wait until the yolk breaks and it starts to mix in with everything before adding the next. Now that we have added all the eggs, we're going to turn the mixer off again and once again scrape down the sides of the bowl. Now we're turning the mixer back on so we can go ahead and add the rest of our ingredients. Since we do have a wet ingredients, which is the pureed strawberries, what we're going to do is add half of the flour mixture to the bowl, mix that in, and then we will go in with the strawberry puree and then finish off with the flour. Just as if we were using milk, we want to always make sure we start with our dry ingredients first, in with our dry ingredients. If you remember from the beginning of the video, I told you guys that I mixed the strawberry gelatin in with the flour mixture. So here you will see our batter begin to turn a pink color, and that is coming from the strawberry jello. Now that we have mixed in that flour mixture, we are now going to go in and add the strawberry puree to the mixture. We're going to turn the mixer back on once again, get this mixed in really well, and then we will go in with the rest of the flour mixture. All right, so I've turned the mixer off so we can go in and add the rest of the flour mixture. We're going to turn the mixer back on, get everything well incorporated, and then it will be time to put our batter into the cake pan. All right, so I am turning the mixer off now. I'm going to take a second to scrape down the sides of the bowl one final time, and then I will be back in a second when it's time to put the batter into the pan. Here we have the Baker's Joy, and I'm going to go ahead and generously spray our pan. All right, so now I am going to go in and add the cake batter to the pan. I can say now that I did once again slightly overfill this pan because it kind of left the flat edges around the edge of the pan. It didn't spill over into the oven, just spread out a little around the edges. I do have a bigger bundt pan. It's the one with the straight edges, but I prefer this. I like the one that has like the little ridges in it, kind of decorated. So I really need to see if I can find a pan just like this one, just a little bigger. So just know that if you use this recipe, you will have extra cake. If you use this recipe and you have a pan like this one, you won't be able to use all the cake batter. You will have some left over, which is fine for me. I just added it to a loaf pan and baked it. So now that I have added all of the cake batter, I'm going to tap my pan a few times to help release any air. As stated earlier, I preheated the oven to 300 degrees, so we're going to go ahead and put this in the oven for an hour and a half. The cake has baked for exactly an hour and a half, and this is how it looks when it came out of the oven. Smells so good. If you could see earlier the edge of the pan, and you can kind of see how it baked right up to the very edge. So that's what I meant when I said that I overfilled the pan a bit. So we're going to let this sit in the pan for 10 to 15 minutes, and then I will turn it out onto the cake board. All right, while our cake cools, we're going to go ahead and get started on the strawberry crunch topping. In each of the bowls, I have 1/4 cups of all-purpose flour. We have a 3-ounce package of vanilla pudding, 3-ounce package of strawberry gelatin, and 1 stick of softened unsalted butter. We will be splitting this butter in half and placing a half in each of the bowls. For the strawberry crunch topping, I also used 20 golden Oreos. I just opened them up and removed the filling. I'm going to start by opening the pudding and adding it to the bowl with the flour. I will then move on to opening the jello and adding that to the other bowl with the flour. I'm now going to go in with the vanilla extract and add just a splash to each of the bowls. Now I'm going to grab the butter, cut that in half, and put a half in each of the bowls. So I'm now going to grab a fork and kind of go in and mash the butter into the flour and the pudding. Now I'm going to go in with my hand and just make sure that everything is mixed in really well. At this point, I am grabbing the bowl with the jello. I'm going in and doing the exact same thing I did with the pudding. I'm mashing the butter in with a fork, mixing everything in well, and then I'll go in with my hand just to make sure that everything is well incorporated. Now that the pudding and the jello have both been mixed well, I have a cookie sheet that I have lined with parchment paper. On one side, I'm going to spread the pudding mixture. On the other side, I'm going to spread the jello mixture. I have preheated the oven to 350 degrees. I'm going to place this inside and bake it for a total of 7 minutes, just 7 minutes. It does not take long at all. Keep an eye on it and make sure it does not burn. This is what it will look like when you take it out of the oven. The pudding mixture has held its form a little better than the jello mixture. They are two different consistencies, so of course they'll look, different once baked. The jello kind of melted more together. So now that I've taken it out of the oven, I'm going to set it aside and let it cool for about an hour, and then we'll be back. Okay, so now that they've had a chance to cool off, I'm going in with my hands and just kind of breaking it apart a little bit. Once I break apart the jello and the pudding side, I'm going to add them separately to the food processor. I will also add the 20 golden Oreos that we have right here to the food processor, again separately. I'm going to add everything to the same bowl once they've been processed, and then I will lightly mix it together with my hand. You will see that coming up next. Okay, so in this bowl, we have our jello mixture, our pudding mixture, and the golden Oreos. They've all been run through the food processor. So I'm kind of going in with my hand and lightly tossing everything together. This is what the mixture will look like once you have tossed everything together. Now that the strawberry crunch topping is done, we are going to cover this bowl, set it to the side, and move on to making the cream cheese icing. Now it's time to make the icing. I'm not going to spend too much time here because it's pretty cut and dry. We have 1 stick of unsalted butter at room temperature, 2 8-ounce packages of cream cheese at room temperature. We'll be using a tablespoon of vanilla extract and a 32-ounce bag of powdered sugar. I will go ahead and leave that down below in the description box as well, but basically we're going to cream together the butter and the sugar, add the extract, add the powdered sugar, and mix until everything is well incorporated. Once you are done, the icing should be a nice smooth consistency like you see here in the video. All right, so we have finally made it back to the cake. I've turned it out onto the cake board. So right now what we're going to do is spread the cream cheese icing all around the cake. It doesn't have to be super neat or pretty because we're really just using the icing as an agent to stick the strawberry crumble onto. So again, just roughly spread the cream cheese icing all around the cake. Now that the cake has been iced, we are going to go in with the strawberry crumble, sprinkle some on top, just kind of grab some in your hand and press into the side of the cake to help it stick. If you just drop it, it's just going to fall all off to the side. This will get messy. Fully expect that to happen. As you can see, it's falling all off the board, but I'm just going to go through, press the crumble into the cake. I will actually pick up some that has fallen on the side of the board. I have the table lined with parchment paper, so I will be grabbing some of that as well. It's perfectly fine. It's on a clean surface. But yeah, we're just going to go through, get as much crumble stuck onto the cake as possible, and then we will clean up our cake board and be back with the next steps. All right, so now that we have all of the strawberry crunch on the cake, we are going to take a second to clean up our mess, and then we will be back to pipe on the details. So we're back with a clean surface now. I have the cream cheese icing in our piping bag, and I'm just going to go around and pipe shells around the base of the cake. Now that we have our border done, we are going to go on top and just pipe 8 little circles. At the last minute, I decided I wanted a strawberry glaze. I didn't record myself making it, but I will leave the recipe down below in the description box. It is just a half cup of strawberry puree, a half cup of granulated sugar, just under a half cup of water, 1.5 tablespoons of cornstarch, and a splash of vanilla extract. I put all of the ingredients in a saucepan and cooked on a medium heat until it started to thicken. Once it started to thicken, I removed it and ran it through the food processor once again because I knew that I would want to put it in a bottle and squeeze it out, so I wanted to make sure that it was nice and smooth. So I did that and set it aside, waited for it to cool, and then it was ready to use. Here we are adding the finishing touches to the cake. I have taken 2 golden Oreo cookies and sliced them in half, and you see here I'm placing them on top of the cake where I have piped the icing. I also had 2 strawberries that I sliced in half, and I'm going to be placing those on top of the cake where I piped the icing as well. I'm placing them in between the cookies. I noticed that this strawberry wasn't facing the same direction as the others. My OCD kicked in for a little bit. So I just went in, turned it around. So now all the strawberries are facing the same direction. Now I'm going back in with the strawberry glaze one more time, putting a little all over the cake, and then we will be done. All right, y'all, we've made it to the end of this video. Here is our finished product, our strawberry crunch, strawberry cream cheese pound cake. I hope you guys have enjoyed this video. If you've made it this far, do me a favor, look down below, leave a strawberry emoji in the comment section. Let me know you've made it to the end. If you have, you are the real MVP, and I appreciate you. I wasn't able to try this cake because I did give it away. The person that I gave it to sent rave reviews, absolutely loved it. She said it tastes amazing, it smells good. So I'm really happy about that. That being said, I wasn't able to cut the cake and get a video of the inside, but she did send me a picture, so I will attach that to the end of this video. Once again, I would like to thank you guys for tuning in. While you're here, I hope you take a moment to look down below, press that red subscribe button, join the family, come back for some more recipes. I am about to go edit this video, so I will see you guys in the next one.